Okay, folks, buckle up. We're diving deep into something you probably don't think about a lot. Ammonia levels.
Yeah, ammonia, right. It's got that really strong smell, like some cleaning products.
Exactly.
Mm,
But here's the thing. That stuff actually plays a super important role inside our bodies.
it really does.
So today, we're going to unlock the secrets of ammonia, what your levels mean, and why you should even care.
Yeah. It's really easy to just think about ammonia as like this harsh chemical.
Right.
But I mean, it's a totally natural part of how our bodies actually use protein.
Interesting.
And protein obviously is important for like everything we do.
Okay, so that means our bodies are making ammonia all the time. Where does it all go?
That is a great question. Okay, so picture this. We eat protein, right?
Right.
And in our gut, our bodies break down that protein, and in the process, they release ammonia.
Okay,
This ammonia, it's full of nitrogen.
got it.
And too much nitrogen can actually be really harmful. So the ammonia that's released, it actually travels to the liver, our amazing detox center.
Yeah, our liver's like a superhero, right?
Sure,
Always working hard. So what happens in the liver?
exactly. So the liver converts that ammonia into something called urea, which is way less toxic.
Oh, okay.
It does this through a whole series of steps, and it's actually called the urea cycle.
Urea cycle.
Urea cycle. It's really important in this cycle. And then our kidneys, they're pretty amazing too. They can easily filter out that urea into, our pee.
Okay.
So it's like the body has this like built-in waste management system specifically for nitrogen.
That's incredible. It's so smart the way our bodies work.
Yeah.
So what is like a normal ammonia level then?
So if you get a blood test, right?
Right.
For adults, a normal level is usually somewhere between 15 and 45 micrograms per deciliter.
Micrograms per deciliter.
Deciliter. You might see it written differently sometimes, though.
Oh, okay.
Like 10 to 32 micromoles per liter. It's like miles versus kilometers. It's just a different unit of measurement.
Got it.
But here's the key. Talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
They can tell you what your specific results really mean because labs can actually vary a little bit.
Makes sense. So we have this delicate balance happening with ammonia in our bodies.
Yeah.
Right? But what messes it up? When do these levels actually become a problem?
Okay, so when your ammonia levels get too high, and I mean like really high, it's called hyperammonemia.
Hyperammonemia.
Yeah. It can actually be really dangerous
Well-
because ammonia can actually damage your brain cells.
Oh.
Yeah. I actually had this patient, I won't use his real name, of course we'll call him John.
Okay.
He came in and he was just like exhausted all the time and really confused. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That sounds pretty scary. What was wrong with him?
So John had cirrhosis.
Cirrhosis.
Cirrhosis, it's a type of liver damage. And because of the damage, his liver just wasn't processing ammonia efficiently anymore.
Oh, okay.
So it was just like building up in his blood. And that can cause like a whole bunch of neurological problems, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, like mild confusion.
Right.
Or in really severe cases, it can even lead to a coma.
Oh, wow.
So John's case, really, it just shows how important a healthy liver is for, handling ammonia.
Yeah, absolutely. So liver problems, we know, are like a big red flag when it comes to ammonia. What else can make the levels spike like that?
Well, there are a few things, actually. There are some genetic disorders that are pretty rare, called inborn errors of metabolism.
Inborn errors of metabolism.
It's basically like there's a missing piece in your body's instruction manual.
Oh, wow.
So certain compounds, like the ones that are involved in the urea cycle, they can't get broken down properly,
Oh.
which means ammonia just builds up.
So it's not just about the liver being damaged, but sometimes the whole ammonia system is like faulty from the beginning.
Exactly.
Okay, so what are the signs then that someone's ammonia levels are actually too high?
Well, since ammonia affects the brain, a lot of the symptoms are neurological.
Okay.
Like someone might seem confused, really tired, or just like disoriented.
They might have trouble like focusing or making decisions.
Right.
And as it gets worse, it can lead to, even more serious stuff.
Oh, no.
Like tremors, slurred speech,
Yeah.
They could even have seizures or fall into a coma.
Okay, that's definitely something you can't ignore. So how do you actually diagnose high ammonia? How do doctors figure that out?
We use a blood test.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
But there's one really important thing. The blood sample, it has to be handled super quickly
Oh, okay. Why is that?
because ammonia levels can actually change really fast after they draw your blood. So if there's any delay, you could get a reading that's way too high, even if it's not really accurate.
Oh, wow. So speed is key there. Are there other things that can, like, mess up the results, like certain medications or what you ate that day?
Yeah, absolutely. So always tell your doctor about any medications you're taking, right?
Yeah.
And it's good to tell them what you've eaten lately, too, especially if you had a lot of protein right before the test.
Wow. All that information helps make sure they get the most accurate results possible.
So let's say someone does get diagnosed with high ammonia levels.
Yeah.
What happens then? What's next?
Well, the most important thing is to figure out what's actually causing it, right?
Right.
And treat that underlying cause. If it's, liver disease, we need to take care of that.
Yeah.
Same with any genetic disorders or anything else that could be contributing.
Wow.
It's like, you've got a leaky pipe, right?
Yeah.
You got to find the source of the leak first.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What about managing the ammonia levels themselves? Like, are there things people can do, lifestyle changes, diet, things like that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Diet actually plays a huge role.
Okay.
If you can limit how much protein you eat, that can be super effective.
Okay. How does that work?
Well, it reduces the amount of ammonia that gets produced in the first place, right? So we work with our patients, really closely to come up with a meal plan that's, tailored to them.
Yeah.
It makes sure they're still getting all the important nutrients they need.
So it's about finding that right balance.
Exactly.
What about medication? Are there specific drugs that can actually help lower ammonia levels?
Yep. We've got a few things we can use. Lactulose is a pretty common one.
Lactulose?
It basically traps the ammonia in the gut so your body can just get rid of it safely.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes we use antibiotics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like rifaximin. It targets the bacteria in your intestines that actually produce ammonia.
Wow, it's amazing how much we can actually do to manage this. It sounds like treating high ammonia is like a multi-pronged attack.
It really is. It's all about addressing the root cause,
Yeah.
making those diet changes, using medication when it's necessary, and of course, keeping a close eye on how the patient's doing neurologically.
Right.
We also do things like give them intravenous fluids and, manage their electrolytes just to make sure their body's running at its best.
It's incredible. This deep dive has been so insightful, and it really highlights just how important ammonia is.
Yeah.
Who knew something with such a strong, kind of off-putting smell could be so vital to our health?
Right. It's a perfect example of how even like the smallest things in our bodies can have a huge impact.
It really makes you think. Okay, so to recap, ammonia is a natural byproduct of how we break down protein.
Right.
Our liver does the heavy lifting, converting it to a less harmful substance.
Yes.
And when those levels get too high, it can really cause some problems for our brains.
Exactly. That's a great summary.
So for everyone listening, I think this is something important to take away. We know that protein and ammonia are closely linked.
They are.
So how does that affect, like, high-protein diets, the ones that are so popular these days?
Yeah.
Something to think about, right?
It really is. It's a complex issue.
Yeah, a lot to consider. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this fascinating journey. We've learned so much about ammonia and the human body. It's clear that despite, that smell, it really is a key player in keeping us healthy.
It really is.
Thanks again, everyone.
You've been listening to the Learning Podcast, a production of metaNESTA. Remember, learning is a journey. One step, one insight, one skill at a time. We'll see you next time. Keep learning, stay curious, and as always, be awesome.